Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 definitions and I want you to guess the word for these definitions, okay? Let's start with the first one. This is the word and the definition is a usual or fixed way of doing things. A usual or fixed way of doing things. For example, I'm going to give you an example. In the morning, I always wake up at 7 a.m. After waking up, I brush my teeth. Then I have breakfast. After breakfast, I have a shower. What is this? What is this word? Again?
Routine.
Routines, right? Very good. Routines. So this is something that we usually do, something fixed, okay? Algo que generalmente hacemos, algo que ya lo tenemos programado más o menos, okay? Let's do the second word. Something that you do often and regularly, sometimes without knowing that you are doing it. Something that you do often and regularly. What do you think it is? Habits. Very good. Habits. Good. And the last one. Things that are true. Something that is true or generally true. For example, dogs have 4 legs. This is something that is true, right? Or generally true. Dogs have 4 legs. Or water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This is something that is true, right? What do you think it is? Something that is true. Any ideas? Algo que es verdadero. Algo que es cierto. Les voy a dar una pista. Here you have a clue. What could it be? ¿Qué podría ser? No? Okay, here we have facts. Facts are things that are true, right? Okay, facts en español podría ser hechos, algo que es verdadero, un hecho. Okay, facts. Now I want you to tell me what is the relationship between these 3 words and the present simple? What is the relationship between these 3 words and the present simple? Why are we talking about routine, habit, and facts? Why?
El tiempo en el que ocurre.
Okay. Anybody else? ¿Por qué mencionamos estas 3 palabras cuando hablamos del presente simple? Why? Why routine, habits, and facts?
Algo que hacemos siempre.
Okay. Because we use the present simple to talk about routines, habits, and facts. Siempre que ustedes quieran hablar de su rutina, utilicen el presente simple o la rutina de alguien, de sus hábitos o de algo que es verdadero. Siempre para hablar de routines, habits, and facts, we use the present simple. Okay? That's why we mention these 3 words. Good. Now we are going to check the structure of the sentences in the present simple. Okay? So I want you to check these sentences. I want you to help me to order the sentences because they are disorganized. Okay? I'm going to show you the disorganized sentence, and then I want you to raise your hand with the button in Zoom to tell me if you have the correct sentence. Okay? Si tienen la opción, la oración completa y correcta, levantan su mano para que puedan decírmela. Okay? Here you have the first one. Order the sentence. Here we have Beatriz.
My friends and wife, good to the mall on weekends.
Okay, ¿alguien más? Thank you, Beatriz. Good. ¿Alguien más? Anybody else? Eldi?
My friends,
Eldi?
My friends and I go to the mall on weekends.
Okay, my friends and I go to the mall on weekends. Very good. Both sentences are correct, right? Ambas estuvieron correctas. My friends and I go to the mall on weekends. Good job. Let's check the second sentence. Number 2. Marta?
Tim and Pablo don't play the guitar.
Tim and Pablo don't play the guitar. Very good. Tim and Pablo don't play the guitar. The last one, pay attention. What about this one? Nayara?
Where do your friends spend their holidays?
Very good. Where do your friends spend their holidays? Good job. So these are the 3 sentences, okay? So we're going to pay attention to these 3 sentences or questions here. And if you can see, the first one is affirmative, negative, and the last one is a question. And now we are going to check the structure of these sentences in the present simple. When we want to write a sentence in the present simple, what do we need first? Affirmative sentence. What do we need at the beginning of the sentence? The subject. What is the subject here? In this my friends and I. Very good. And after the subject, we need
Verb.
the verb. Very good. After the verb, we have
Complement.
the complement. Good job. Yes, and this is the structure we use for an affirmative sentence in the present simple, right? Let's go to the negative. First, we have
Subject.
Subject. What is the subject here?
Tim and Pablo.
Tim and Pablo. Good job. Then, after the subject? Auxiliary verb in the negative form, right? The auxiliary verb in the negative form. Then, the verb. And then the complement. Good job. So this is the structure we use for a negative sentence. Remember, we need an auxiliary verb. What happens if we have a verb to be in a sentence? Do we need the auxiliary verb? If my sentence have a verb to be, do we need the auxiliary verb? No, we don't need an auxiliary verb when we use the verb to be, right? The only way is to change the verb to be to the negative form, right? Good. And the last one, the question. What do we have here at the beginning? What's this?
Question word.
Yes, the WH question word. Good. Sometimes we have this WH question word, and sometimes we start the sentence with do, the auxiliary verb, right? After the auxiliary verb, we need the subject, then verb, and then
Complement.
the complement. Very good. So you need to organize, please, your microphones. You need to organize your sentences in the present simple with this structure, okay? In this way. Good. Any questions? Any doubts? ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿Algo que quieran aclarar tal vez? No? Okay, let's go to the next part. Okay? What happened if I want to change? I don't want this as my subject. I want to change my subject and I want my subject to be Lorena. What do I need to do? I want to change the subject and my subject now is Lorena. What do I need to do in the first sentence?
A verb.
The verb change, the verb goes.
We change the verb to goes. Why? Why do we change
Because
the
it
verb?
shows- because the pronoun is third person.
Third
Yeah,
person.
because of the third person singular. Lorena is she, right? That's why we need to change the verb. Lorena goes to the mall on weekends. Good job. What about the next one? I want to change the subject here for Lucas. What do I do?
Lucas doesn't. Auxiliary.
The auxiliary verb. We need to change the auxiliary verb for doesn't. Very good. Lucas doesn't play the guitar. Good job. And the last one. I need to change this subject for your cousin. ¿Qué haría?
Auxiliary.
The auxiliary.
Us.
Does. Where does your cousin spend her holidays? Okay, good job. So don't forget to change the verb in the affirmative sentence for the third person, the auxiliary verb for the negative sentences, and the auxiliary verb for questions. Okay? ¿Alguna pregunta acá en esta parte? ¿Alguna duda? And we have some rules, right? We have some rules to change the verb to the third person singular. What is the general rule to change the verb to the third person singular? ¿Cuál podría ser la regla general para cambiar el verbo a la tercera persona singular? What do you think? ¿Qué hacemos para cambiar el verbo?
Is.
We add,
Subject.
we add the S, right? Necesitamos añadir una S. So the general rule is to add an S to the verb. For example, work, works, eat, eats, play, plays, swim, swims, ride, rides. Generalmente añadimos una S, ¿cierto? But here we have two other rules that we need to follow too. When the verb ends in consonant and Y, we need to remove the Y. Vamos a hacerlo así. We need to remove the Y, la tenemos que eliminar, la borramos, and add IES. Okay, for example, study, you can see in study, we have here consonant and Y, consonant and Y, consonant and Y, consonant and Y, and the last one is a consonant and Y. Todas tienen consonante Y. Entonces, cuando tenemos este tipo de verbos, lo que debemos hacer es remover la Y, la eliminamos y añadimos IES, IES. Studies, tries, spies, and flies. Okay? And the last one, we have one more rule. When the verb ends in O, CH, SH, X, or SS, we need to add ES. For example, goes, washes, watches, mixes, or kisses. ¿Ok? Entonces tenemos estas tres reglitas que debemos seguir para cambiar el verbo a la tercera persona. Okay, any questions? Solo estamos revisando un poquito, ¿cierto? Porque esto ya lo habían avanzado. Let's go to the last part. Here we have frequency adverbs. Frequency adverbs. We have hardly ever, never, often, and usually, right? So now I want you to tell me in which position, in which place of my sentence can I add the frequency adverb? For example, in the first one, my friends and I go to the mall on weekends. ¿Dónde podría añadir cualquiera de estos adverbios de frecuencia? ¿En qué parte de mi oración? What do you think?
Before the verb.
Okay. Before,
After the subject.
after the subject and before the verb, right? Very good. Entonces, sabemos que los adverbios de frecuencia vienen después del sujeto, after the subject, and before the verb, in the middle, right? Good. For example, my friend and I hardly ever go to the mall on weekends. Okay, on weekends. My friends and I never go to the mall on weekends. O cualquiera de los otros. What about the negative sentence? What do you think?
It's the same.
The same? Okay, ¿dónde iría?
Before the
Before,
don't.
before done.
Yes.
Tim and Pablo Tim and Pablo usually don't play the guitar. Yes.
Or always Tim and Pablo.
Ok. Aquí tenemos don't, right? Y estos adjetivos, hardly ever and never, tienen un contexto negativo, ¿cierto? Entonces podríamos reemplazar el don't por never o por hardly ever. Por ejemplo, Tim and Pablo hardly ever play the guitar. Or Tim and Pablo never play the guitar. Podríamos utilizarlo para reemplazar. Often and usually no tienen un contexto negativo, entonces van antes del verbo. Ok, before the verb. Entonces sería, Tim and Pablo don't often play the guitar or don't usually play the guitar. Okay. And the last one, in the question. ¿Dónde podría ir? ¿Qué parte de mi
Before
Before the auxiliary verb?
yes,
Where-
teacher. Sorry.
Where? Okay. voy a
Before the
leerla.
subject,
Before the subject. Acá. Okay. Where do usually your friends spend their holidays? Eso es before the subject. Before the auxiliary verb. Where usually do your friends spend their holidays? ¿Cuál de esas piensan que es correcta?
Where usually do you find?
Ok. Tiene que ir antes del verbo. Ok. Nuestro verbo es spend. Entonces va antes del verbo. Where do your friends usually spend their holidays? Ok. Pero tienen que tener cuidado con este often. Ok. A veces va en la parte de adelante como si fuera una WH question. Con how often. A veces en preguntas lo tenemos en la parte de adelante con how often. ¿Qué tan a menudo? ¿Qué tan seguido? ¿Ok? Hay una excepción con los adverbios de frecuencia que pueden ir después del verbo. ¿Cuál sería esa excepción? ¿Recuerdan? ¿En qué ocasión mi adverbio de frecuencia puede ir después del verbo?
Con el verbo to be.
Verb to be.
Yes, very good. When we have a verb to be in our sentence. Como pueden ver, aquí no tenemos ningún verbo to be, por eso el adverbio de frecuencia viene antes. Pero si tuviésemos un verbo to be, tiene que ir después. ¿Ok? Good. Now we're going to practice a little bit this with the book. Let's go to exercise number 5. Here we have some frequency adverbs. We have always, sometimes, and we need to complete the blanks with the frequency adverbs we have in the little box. What do you think we need to write in number 1? Number 1?
Usually.
Usually, right? Good. Number 2?
Often.
Often.
Often. Number 3?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever. And the last one, of course, is
Never.
never. Hardly ever and never. Good. Okay. Don't forget to turn off your microphones. We have some noise there. Good. So these are the frequency adverbs we are going to be using in this lesson. Okay. So let's practice with some exercises we have here on page 112. I want you to go to page 112, and here we have 3 good exercises to practice the present simple. Exercise number 1. 112. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in the parentheses. As you can see, here we have parentheses and verbs. If we have a parenthesis with not, what do we need to do? What do we need to do if we have not?
Don't.
A negative sentence, right? A negative sentence with don't or doesn't. Okay, good. So complete this exercise and then we're going to check together. Number 1, please, Daniela. Allison.
I don't like coffee.
I don't like coffee. Very good. Number 2, please, Gabriela.
Do they computer games with you?
Do they? Do they?
Do they play computer games with you?
Very good. Do they play computer games with you? Thank you. Duran, please. Number 3.
Luca finishes work at 6 p.m.
Very good. Finishes work. Marta, please. Number 4.
We had fun together.
We have fun together. Good. Sylvia, number 5.
You don't know my best friend.
Okay. You don't know my best friend. You don't know my best friend. Nicole, please.
Does Robert work with you?
Job. Does Robert work with you? Jose Manuel, please. Number 7.
Constanza is really shy. She doesn't speak in class.
Very good. She doesn't speak in class. The next one, please. Baka Karen.
My mom worries a lot about her children.
Okay, my mom worries a lot about her children. Let's go with Daniela, please. Number 9.
Okay, teacher, and can you help me with this?
Yes, can you help me with this? And the last one, please, Nayara.
Raul is not very patient.
Again, please.
Raul is not or isn't very patient.
Very good. Is not or isn't very patient. Good job. Any questions in this exercise? ¿Alguna pregunta, alguna duda tal vez? Okay,